Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Are you ready for some fun? Stand up and turn around. Stand up and turn around. Stand up and turn around. Now sit down on the ground. Give me a great big clap. Give me a great big clap. Give me a great big clap. Now put your hands in your lap. Good morning, boys and girls. This is Miss Nicole here with a special message. Happy Earth Day! Today is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, and I am so excited to be reading one of my ultimate favorite books. But before I read that, I want a special shout out to Cora and Mateo, who I know really love to go outside and play and have been hiking a lot during this time. So I just wanted to give you a special shout out. Thanks for tuning in and watching my read alouds. This book is called The Lorax by Dr. Seuss, and it is my favorite read aloud to think about the earth and how what we do actually does make a difference, whether it's a positive difference or a negative difference. Let's see what happens in this timeless tale. The Lorax. That doesn't look like a beautiful earth. At the far end of town, where the grinkle grass grows, where the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grinkle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today, where the Lorax once stood just as long as he could before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax and why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere from the far end of town where the grinkle grass grows? The old onceler still lives there. Ask him. He knows. Oh boy, something happened. You won't see the onceler. Don't knock on his door. He stays in his lurkin on top of the store. He lurks in his lurkin cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of muffled moof. And on special dank nights in midnight, he peeks out the shutters, and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail and a shell of a great-great-great-great-grandfather snail. Oh, well, we could pay. We just found a snail yesterday. Then he pulls up a pail and makes a most careful count to see if you've paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snub, his secret, strange hole in his grovulous glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by whisper-ma-phone, for the secrets I tell are for your ears alone. Ooh, this is going to be good. Slump! Down slumps the whisper-ma-phone to your ear, and the old onceler's whispers are not very clear, since he has to come down through a sneakerly hose, and he sounds as if he has smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding grayish, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started back, way back, such a long, long time back. Oh my goodness. It's not dirty, it's not gross, it's not dark.
That's what a clean earth looks like.
It looks a clean earth, you're right. Way back in the day when the grass was still green and the pond was still wet and the clouds were still clean and the song of the Swanamis rang out in space. One morning, I came to this glorious place and I first saw the trees. The truffula trees, bright-colored tufts of the truffula trees, a mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees I saw brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbaloot suits as they played in the shade of the truffula fruits. From the rippulous pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. I think the barbaloots are my favorite. But those trees, oh, those trees! All my life, I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tuft was much softer than silk. And they had the sweet smell of fresh buttermilk. I felt great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I'd unload my cart. Uh-oh. Look at that cart. I see something that should not be there. Not if you love trees. Oh, boy. In no time at all, I had built a small shack. Then I chopped down one truffula tree with one whack. Oh, my goodness. And with great skillful skill and with great speedy speed, I took that small tuft and I knitted a thneed. What is a thneed?
I don't know.
The instant I finished, I heard a gazap. I looked, and I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I chopped down. It was a sort of man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy. His voice was sharpish and bossy. Mister! He said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax and I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset and he shouted and puffed. What's that thing you made out of my truffula trump? Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. A thneed's a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it had other uses. Yes, way beyond that. But it has other uses. Yes, way beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, for curtains, for covers of bicycle seats. The Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that fool thneed. Unfortunately, he's wrong. But the very next minute, I proved he was wrong, for just at that minute, a chap came along, and he thought that the thneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at you, Lorax, you poor silly guy. You never can tell what some people will buy. I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Be quiet if you please. I rushed across the room and in no time at all, I built a radio phone and I put in a quick call. I called my brothers, my uncles, my aunts, and I said, listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Onceler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast, take the road to North Nitch, turn left at Weewonkin, and sharp right at South Stitch. Uh-oh. Do you think he cares about these beautiful trees?
No.
No. He's planning on destroying them all. Just to make money?
No.
I hope his family doesn't come.
I bet they will.
But they do. And in no time at all, the factory I built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting thneeds, just as busy as beads, to the sound of the chopping of truffula trees. Oh, and there's the Lorax watching. Then, oh baby then, how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at one time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffula trees with one smacker. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before. And that Lorax, well, he didn't show up anymore. But the next week, he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, I'm the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping just as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown barbaloots who play in the shade in their barbaloot suits and happily live eating truffula fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffula fruit to go round. And my poor barbaloots are all getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies. They loved living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys, he cried, and he sent them away. I, the oncer, felt sad as I watched them all go. But business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. Do you think he's going to change his ways?
No, but I think he might feel a little more sadder at the end when the last trees come.
Let's see. I meant no harm, I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered my loads. Of needs I shipped out. I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering and selling more needs. I biggered my money, which everyone needs.
Even you.
Oh my goodness. It's starting to get black in the sky. There's a lot less trees. It's not as beautiful at all. Then again he came back. I was fixing some pipes when that old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. I am the Lorax. He coughed and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled. He snaggled. He sniffed. Onceler, he cried with a crufulous croak. Onceler, you're making such smogulous smoke. My poor swamamy swans. Why, they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in their throat. And so, said the Lorax, please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smogulous smoke you have smogged up around here. Oh.
What's that?
Oh, gross. That's his factory. Oh. What's more, snapped the Lorax. His dinger was up. Let me say a few words about gluppity glup. Your machine chugs on day and night without stop, making gluppity glup, also sloppity slop. And what do you do with the leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Onceler man, you. Oh no! He just throws it in the pond. What's wrong with him? Ugh. You're glumping the pond where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so schmeary. I hear things are just as bad in Lake Erie. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax. Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap, yap, and say bad, bad, bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I gotta do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more truffula trees into needs, which everyone needs. And at that very moment, we heard a loud from outside in the field came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffula tree of them all. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles, my aunts, everyone, all waved goodbye. They jumped in their cars and drove away under the smog-smothered stars. Now all that was left neath the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax, and I. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance, gave me a very sad, sad backwards glance as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants, and I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he hoisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. And all the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with the one word, unless. Whatever that meant. Well, I just couldn't guess. That was a long, long time ago. But each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years, while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. So he's changing his mind and his thinking. He knows he did something wrong. He knows he ruined a beautiful piece of the earth. Unless. I wonder what that means. But now, says the oncer, now that you're here, you, each and every one of you, the words from the Lorax seems perfectly clear, unless someone like you and me cares a whole awful lot. Nothing is going to get better. It's not. I care. Do you care? So, catch, calls the oncer. He lets something fall. It's a truffula seed, the last of them all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seeds, and the truffula tree is what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula, treat it with care, give it clean water, and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. Boys and girls, I hope today and every day that you think of our earth and the beauty that it gives us and the shelter that it gives us and all the things it gives us. And I hope you do something to care for it. Today we're going to be planting some seeds here at the Rally Clan. I hope that you do something similar. Bye. Have a great day. Happy Earth Day.